Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday. Friday is request day. Today's map was requested by the creator and has been voted in by the BonBonB buddies over on Patreon. Now, if you want to get involved in that vote, head on over to patreon.com/BonBonB, and for just $1 a month, you too can join in the party. Now, today's map, it's a big one, hence the length of the episode. In fact, I've sped up the footage as fast as I dare. Any faster than this, I think it might start to give you a bit of a migraine. In fact, some of you might struggle with getting a headache anyway. So if you'd like to reach down for the dispenser button and grab yourself a paracetamol right now, yeah, dispenser button is just there, that one there, right there. That's right, hitting the paracetamol button will get me supported by more and more people, get me seen by more people, and will help the channel grow and all that stuff too. I might even prevent you getting a headache. Anyway, today's map is I Am Plato by Snyman, a creator who we have done just the once in the past, back in episode 688. There's your start square. 688, they got 8 stars on that occasion, 3 for aesthetics, 3 for gameplay, and just a 2 for detailing. That's your terrain height, very high terrain going on in the bottom right of the map there. And the resources, there's big swathes of everything that you might want to dig up and plough with. Off to the workshop. Now, we will be using the not so rocky European theme, but it's not in the required items list. Also, we'll be using the realistic 1.2 LUT too. But have a look at that required items list because it will come in, it'll be relevant later, Now, we're going to have a look at the road and the rail simultaneously just down this first stretch. I don't want to come back down and have a look at the rail down this section. So as it's running parallel, we'll look at both at the same time, shall we? And we'll start off with this little bridge here. Now, at first glance, it looks like a perfectly adequate bridge, don't you think? Okay, the pillars aren't perfectly aligned, but it's perfectly aligned with the rail bridge. Except for it's very low to the water, probably a bit too low. Not only that, do we really need a suspension bridge over such a narrow gap? And the answer is probably no. And then we head down to the cloverleaf intersection while the rail slowly grabs an incline to get up and over the roads there. Vanilla cloverleaf, a very fine little intersection indeed. That heads down, we'll be going that way in a minute. We're going to go a slightly longer route. You may notice here we've got this little 4-lane section here, which is elevated for some reason. Now, obviously, this is for merge lanes, and I applaud the fact that Hans has gone to put in some, like, a merge lane section, which is great. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, if I can remember how to, get rid of that pop-up button. That's the one. And then we go, that's it. And then we go to upgrade, boom, boom. Right, and that is probably how it really should look, I think. I think that looks cleaner and tidier anyway. So yes, you're actually going to see a lot of elevated sections on today's map where you probably wouldn't choose to have them. Elevated rail here is not too bad. It's about as low as you can go. There's no clipping lampposts there, and it does come down to ground fairly smoothly. But again, it's not the most elegant bit of railway that we've seen, but it will certainly do. Coming down to a big bridge now, and as big bridges go, actually, well, it's a bit wibbly wobbly on the left. Just a bit wibbly wobbly on the left. The right hand side looks to have been done first, and the left one to align with it. We seem to droop a bit in the middle as well. If you see that central node there, seems to be a bit droopy. Let me do some more work. I might be doing a lot of work in today's show actually. Let me grab the central node there and just do some elevating. Up a little bit more. About there. Maybe a bit more. How about there? Yeah, that's a little bit better. So, I mean, not perfectly aligned with the opposite side, but I think just on that particular bridge alone is a bit better. Over this side doesn't look too bad. Although, oh, look at this bridge. Look at this pillar. It's not aligning with the cables. How did that happen? What's going on there? So what we'll do is we will try and do the same sort of work at the bottom. What am I switching move it off for? I don't know. Move it back on and see if I can't grab. I'm going to grab that pillar. There. Got. Oh, good. I had it. I have got it. And we'll just elevate that one up using the page up button. Probably gone a bit too far now. Let's come around and have a little better look at it. Yeah, we're a bit too high now. But we can fix. We can fix by swooping it back down a little bit. And yeah, well, it's now aligned with the cables, but it's way too high compared to the other bridge pillar. So all sorts of wrong going on there. Also got a bumpy bit coming down off of the ramp, coming down to these plopped intersections. This is one of Timbo's intersections, and yeah, credit to Hans Snyman for crediting that in the description as well. It is a very nice intersection, that one. Not one I personally use myself, but certainly does the job indeed. Down here we've got the merge lanes again, which are elevated for some bizarre reason. Okay, 4 lanes, but why the elevation? Don't know. And then we've got a roller coaster drop here on the rail as well, which again should have been smoothed out over a longer distance. Now we're going to let the rail go off and do its own thing now. We'll catch up with the rail in a minute, and we'll have a look at the roads. Down here we've got another one of Timbo's intersections, and then we enter into the start square, where there's not too much room to expand there, but what we have got over the other side is WYJP Mansions, WLAB. Now, WY is short for Waya, I'm pretty sure of that, the creator. JP is short for Japan, Japanese Mansions. WL and AB I don't really understand, but it's a great little asset. There's actually 2 in the pack. This is the smaller one of the 2. Kind of looks a bit like a cruise liner to me as well, but without the hull. And factoids, because factoids. Any man unlucky enough to be castrated can console themselves with one thought. Castration is the only proven way to prevent hair loss. Now, is it worth it? Is it worth it? I don't know. Is that a basketball board on the roof there? Let me come around and have a better look at that. What is that? It's not a basketball board. I don't know what that is. Is that a solar panel? Maybe. Anyway, JP Mansions WLAB by Waya. Today's asset of the day. We'll head back to the roads. Back across to this section. We'll have a better look at the start square once we come back and have a look at the map as a whole. Now, good bridge time, okay? It's not perfect, but it's a good bridge. And I feel that this was probably done first, and everything else afterwards kind of went downhill, I think, maybe, possibly. But I didn't hover on that bridge because there's nothing really to see apart from the fact that it was absolutely spot on. Very happy with that. Now, the roads now are going to go on a bit of a journey. We're going to have, first of all, a little look at the intersection coming up here with, again, the elevated merge lanes. What is going on there? And elevated in the middle as well. I don't know why we need to be elevated. In fact, we're not just elevated, we're elevated in the trough. It's just sunken in a little bit. Probably because of the elevation. That's just really weird. Anyway, yeah, so we're all elevated here, and we're going to take a little drive all the way around the map, basically. Also, we've got this. What is going... I don't know whether that was part of the original highway connection and Hans has forgotten to remove it. I don't know. Little bridge here, little bridge, not perfectly aligned, but I think I can deal with that one being a suspension bridge. Let me just grab the node there, and we'll just move the whole node over. In fact, I'm going to move the 2 bridges together a little bit, I think. Okay, still not going to be perfect, but I think just a little bit of tweaking like that, and it's already a little bit better. A little bit. So now this is where we can sort of like start talking about other things, because this journey is going to go on for quite a way. This road is going to take us up to the top of the plateau, and it does get rather high up there. We'll dip in and out of the fog while we're doing so. So yes, coming up this weekend, we've got part 2 of the best maps of the year as voted by you. So look out for that one on Sunday. I'm looking forward to sharing that one with you. It literally is the creme de creme of the maps from the last 12 months. Always good to see. And probably next week, normally I try and get a second video out on a Sunday, probably next week there may not be a second video. It'll be just the bog standards, the 6 watt maps and the Steam Weekly Chart Show, because what I want to do is look at the Jinky Janky. What I want to do is I want to actually sit down and fix Duvo, fix the game save on Duvo, so I can actually start putting out some more of my own city build again. I'm missing doing it, and I know a lot of you have been asking when's it coming back, and it's just been down to time. And instead of spending 3, 4, 5 hours working on an extra video, I could be spending that time trying to fix the game save. So if I basically say to myself, look, no mod spot, there's nothing for me to do apart from just get Duvo working, and then hopefully we can get it up and running again. Look at this here. Yeah, so that's the plan. That is the plan for next week. So don't panic if there is no second video for me on the Sunday. There may still be. I mean, I might fix Duvo in 20 minutes. It might take no time at all. But if it takes a little bit longer, and I suspect it will do, Vanilla Wishbone in the fog. We'll probably have to switch the fog off, I feel, about now. So yes, if you're missing me, don't worry, everything is fine. Everything is. There's solar panels on the right. Oh no, it's just glitchy trees along the edge of the map. Yeah, everything is fine. I just really I never have the time to get all the spare jobs done, and so yeah, if I can get Duvo up and running again, because I have stuff I want to do with that. It's my own city build on my own map, for those of you wondering what Duvo is, and it's a crossover between English and a French architecture, or it will be. At the moment it's fully English, but there are going to be areas of heavy French influence, which will make sense when we've got some glitchy highway down here. Nothing really I feel that hands can do about this. It happens to the best of us. I've got a little bit onto Catherine's Point that does this as well, and I'm going to say there's very little you can do apart from rebuild it and hope that it doesn't glitch out. Not entirely sure what causes this, but there we are. So yes, that's the plan for next week anyway. With any luck, with a full week of not having to do anything apart from map reviews and the Steam Weekly Chart Show, I should be able to get Duvo back up and running. There's the plan. And there's a train. We'll have a look at the train. We're almost done now, guys. We've almost seen all of the network. Didn't want to see all of the network, but we've nearly seen all of it. We're going to follow this in just to show you we do have rail coming in from a second direction, and the rail's perfectly adequate. I mean, this is better than the other side because the other side has the ups and downs with the bridges. This is perfectly lovely, and it gives you a really good view. I mean, the vista of this map, the backdrop, is really very lush indeed. So anyway, if you want a lush dramatic backdrop, maybe this is the map for you. Anyway, we'll end it here, and we'll come back in a few moments' time with the shipping routes. It's the playlist of the week, featuring 5 of the lowest rated maps of all time ever to appear on the show, getting just 20 stars between them. Curious to see more? I thought you might be. Click that button now. And so the shipping routes at I Am Plato, or I Am Plato, by Hans Snyman. Perfectly fine. Slightly angular there, but not too bad. We've got the triangle. It's dealable. It's not an issue. Coming up the river is fine. This bridge looks high enough to me to handle the vanilla cruiser. Going either side of that pillar as well is good work. I do have a question over this perfect bridge, this lovely bridge. I've not checked it, I've not tested it, but I suspect that is slightly too low for the vanilla cruiser. Certainly okay for the cargo. So just a thought, if you want to put a passenger harbour up there, you may get some shipping clipping. Possibly, not checked it. Don't hold me responsible for that, no. There might be some water flow, just a little bit. They are good, strong rivers. I don't totally buy into the water sources. We're not going to really look at them today. But that is good, strong, game playable water flow. And I've no grumbles. The map as a whole, we've got huge buildable areas. Very interesting waters as well. Let's have a look at this start square. So when you actually get down here and start building, you only have this little bit of land to build on here before you run out. Which means you're probably going to want to build this bridge over here very early game. Now, if you're playing vanilla rules, because this is start square over here as well. Let me go into bridge mode, and I'm going to need to, well, my brain's not working. That's the one. Drag that over. So that's going to cost you 4,500 nicker, to build a standard little bridge across there. I know that's highway and you want it to be 2 ways, but yeah, just to have a standard bridge across there, it's going to cost you 4,500, which is a big cost to get you started. But just that's for those of you playing vanilla rules, of course. Not sure where this highway would be going. Maybe it's going up the hill. Let's see where the hill leads. Doesn't really lead anywhere. There's no real buildable space up there at all. Mind you, over this side there is. So maybe instead of bearing off to the left, if it bared off to the right and gone between the 2 pillars there, I think that would have been a much better angle for that highway to be pointed in, just to get us started. Huge build plane over here. This I'm loving. Okay, sometimes I find this a bit boring, having huge flat build planes, but I feel that is really encouraging you to build out and build that big city, and there's room for it. And then up here on the plateau, literally on the plateau, the Iron Plateau. I see. Very good. Spelled differently, but I'll take it. Loads of room up here for a city with a great view over the valley. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice. Okay, so what more can we check out? Loads of flat build space over here as well. That's huge amounts of building areas as well. Now that road that we took was really winding its way up. It wasn't too bad an effort to get it up onto the top level, considering it is quite a climb. What have we got going on down here? Detailing. It's the essential lighthouse. Essentially unessential at that point. Let's face it, the ships already know there are hazards. It's going up a river. And we've got one on the opposite side over here, which is the green on the right, red on the left, and green on the left, red on the right, even depends which way you're going. And so maybe it's warning us about hazards up that river. I don't know. We've got this as well, which once again could be better, because how do you get up there? You're going to need a ladder to get up there. What we'll do again, we're going to move it. We're just going to drop that down so it sort of like clips in with the terrain, and we have that. Looking like that. Sirens going past my window again. Don't know if you can hear that in the background. And they haven't come to take me away. Not this time. Not yet. Swamplands. We have some swamplands. Now, this raised some questions for me, because I thought there aren't any mango trees in the requirement list. There aren't any. And that's correct. There are no mangrove trees. Sorry. Very dry of the mouth at the moment. There aren't any mangrove trees in the requirements list. And so I went and took a loading screen report of the map, and at that point I discovered that not only we're missing the not so rocky theme, looking at the lovely scenes here, we're missing the not so rocky theme, we're missing the mangrove trees, we're also missing the acacia tree, the Canary Island date palms, and also apparently the Sinu dirt road is missing as well. So these things need to be added onto the workshop page, Hans, I'm afraid. And instantly, it's, for anything like that, it's a loss of at least a star for detailing. Now, speaking of detailing, we've got a little feature area that we really do need to have a little look at. Just the opposite side of the start square, we have this road that leads off via some very nice suspension bridges, and quite tidily handled, if I say so. I mean, not perfect, but quite tidy, and zigzagging around these hills to lead us up to an area we could park our car and have a little look around this little feature area. And as feature areas go, it's scary. I mean, not scary as in scary bad, but as in scary, scary glitchy. Nice little view on the left there with all those pretty little trees. Nice little look there, nice little garden. It's lovely. Don't walk too close to the edge, there's a cliff behind us. And then we can shall we take a little left here, I think? A little left, across the glitchy bridge again there. And then you've got this little humpback bridge going across the middle. It's quite pretty, quite nice, quite a pretty little garden. And then as you come down the opposite side of the bridge, then you are holding onto your partner's hand very tightly, because that is freaking scary. I'm sorry, but what is going on there? And then over here we've got a kind of dead end. I'm guessing the dirt road from Sinu links onto that point there? I don't know, because we're missing it, and then the path comes down to a dead end down here. But with the missing assets, I've no idea. Shall we have a look? See, oh, we have got the shark's teeth on the left as well, which are always a welcome addition to every glitchy map's nightmare. But yes, I think there's probably a dirt road there from Sinu leading from the path up to the cottage. That'd be my guess, now that I know there's a dirt road missing. Didn't have time to re-record the whole show because... Anyways, thank you very much. Your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Well, only you can decide. Along with all the other people putting out maps that might be better or worse. One can never tell in advance. Aesthetically, I think it's bold, and I think there are some really quite aesthetic views once you've actually built your city. But it doesn't get close to 4 stars, I'm afraid. Possibly because there are missing assets, but it just feels a bit too bold to me to be an aesthetic map. 3 stars. Detailing. I'd like to just squeeze this into 3 stars. I'd like to. But we've got those missing assets on the workshop. And so while I want to give it that 3rd star for detail, it would be a low 3. I've got to bring it down to a low 2, lose the star for the missing assets, and therefore 2 stars. Gameplay, I think this is playable. Very, very playable, possibly. There's going to be a lot of things to fix though. So while I want to give it 4 stars, I'm going to bring it down to 3 because there's just too many things to distract you from getting on with your own city build. I Am Plato by Snyman. Exactly the same rating as last time. I do hope this isn't their last map because they do show some potential, especially with their terrain work. So please, Hans, do us one more. But the next time, just spend a little bit longer, just going over the highways and the rail, and just making sure that everything is on the workshop that needs to be on the workshop. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Join me tomorrow for Saturday's map, the final one of the week, and then it'll be the Steam Weekly Chart Show on Sunday, and of course the Viewer's Choice Top 20 Maps of the Year. Is your map going to be in there? Did you make one? Do you think so?